Two Broke Betters, presented by Garrett Hollenbach and Dallas Walker.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 11 of Two Broke Betters. I think we can seriously say at this point we are two broke betters as conference tournaments have been underway. Just about every favorite or everything that makes sense with stats at all has not happened. Every underdog, it's March. Every single underdog, everything that doesn't make sense is happening. Here we are for another episode. I'm your host, Garrett. Here's my co-host, Dallas.
Yo, what's up? Hey, during the regular season, the favorites hit at a 78% clip. Where is that now? Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. But we're here to give our insights. We're throwing all stats out the window for this video. Here we are to make back our money, all on Championship Sunday before Selection Sunday starts. So let's jump right into the first one. This one breaks my heart to even talk about. Tennessee, Texas A&M. I was hoping Kentucky would be in this one. It just wasn't meant to be. I don't think anybody in Kentucky could make a shot today. Oscar fouled out with about 10 minutes left. That's just how it goes sometimes. Hopefully it won't happen in the actual tournament. But here we are, Tennessee, Texas A&M. You know what? Today I chose Arkansas over Texas A&M. I'm done with it. I'm going with Texas A&M plus 6.5. That's too many points for a Texas A&M team who has been destroying their opponents so far. There's no way around it. Buzz Williams has turned into a mastermind. It's as simple as it gets. Buzz Williams has taken away whatever every team so far has been good at. Let's think. Auburn's starting guards were combined 4 of 27 shooting the ball. And their best player, Jabari Smith, was a whopping 5 of 16 from the field. Go on to the next game. JD Notae, who everyone has been loving the last few games because he's been on fire for Arkansas, was 2 of 8 today with 5 points. Yeah. If he can focus on limiting those Tennessee guards, this is going to be a great game. And Buzz Williams seems to turn into John Wooden 2.0 all of a sudden. So Texas A&M plus 6.5. Dallas, what's your pick for this one?
I am right there with you. Texas A&M, not only have they been playing insane defense, which they've been playing defensively well all year, they've just taken it up 17 notches. They are shooting lights out, and it is insane. Those 2 guards, Quentin Jackson and I forget the other dude's name, the left-hander, oh my goodness. And then on the flip side, it's like you were talking about today, when you were saying Kentucky, it's not like Tennessee was playing great defense. They were just missing shots. And I think that's the actual edge in this game, is that Texas A&M is actually forcing these bad shots with great defense, whereas I think Tennessee has benefited from playing teams that just aren't hitting.
Yeah, and Tennessee is hitting. I don't know how much of it you watch. A bunch of them are contested shots where players were just knocking stuff down with hands in their faces. So hopefully for our sakes, Texas A&M will limit that. I don't know how you limit that, but hopefully
you do it right back to them, because that's what they did. That's what they did to Auburn. I imagine that. I didn't get to watch the Arkansas game today. I imagine they did a little bit of that too. So
yeah,
it might be a 90-90 game, honestly, the way these two teams have been shooting.
All right, on to the next one. The Ivy League, not known for their basketball, mostly known for their brains. Yale and Princeton. All right, we said we're throwing stats out the window. I'm not completely throwing stats out the window, but what I am doing is throwing basketball stats out the window. Yale, highest ACT and SAT average in the Ivy League. We're going Yale plus 3 here against Princeton. Book it.
It's just, I mean, from an analytics point of view, I can't think of a much better stat than that. But I'm actually on the opposite end. I'm going Princeton, and I'm just doing it.
Okay. We can't always Can't always be the same on all of our picks. I really like that stat. Highest
Yeah.
ACT and SAT average.
That's hard to argue with.
Yep. I mean, just imagine they're spotting up for a shot. They got the correct degree. They got the correct angle, correct force. Exactly. All right. On to the next one. Richmond and Davidson in the A10 championship. Personally, Richmond has burnt me on about the 3 last times I have bet on them. So I'm done with it. Davidson won at Richmond. They also won and covered their first 2 rounds of the A10 championship. On top of that, they're 18-11 against the spread. And Davidson relies a lot on their 3-point shot. They're top 5 in the country in 3-point shooting. Richmond, on the other hand, is bottom 250 in 3-point defense. So Davidson -4 is my pick here.
Yes, sir. I'm with you on Davidson. I bet them all the tournament games they've played, they've hit. Not only have they won, covered, they've also covered their team total in every game, which is hit for me. I'm on this Davidson wagon right now. They're shooting the lights out, like you said, and besides like one game for Richmond, their other couple games have been terrible shooting. So I'm all in on Davidson.
Yep. I like it. All right. On to the next one. Big Ten championship. Iowa has used a little bit of luck to get here. They've had Jordan Bohannon hit a buzzer beater bank shot 3 to send them to the championship today. But I'm going to ride the luck. I'm going to take Iowa +2. I know it doesn't seem like a very big spread, but you want to know what? I like the history a lot better. Purdue has not covered a single game since February 8th. That is 9 games straight. I'm going to go with Iowa +2 here.
Yeah, I'm actually just going to go ahead and go with the Iowa money line. Like you said, Purdue not covering. We already talked about it last video or the video before, how bad Purdue's been regressing. And then they've kind of got the mediocre bunch, which I mean deservedly so. Purdue was the 1 seed, right? Or were they the 2 seed in the Big Ten?
Were they?
I think they may have been.
2? I think Wisconsin was the 1.
Okay. Either way, I think that this Indiana team was the team to beat, just how well their defense has been playing, how hot they got all of a sudden. And Iowa's covered in the 4 of their past 5 games. So, yeah, I like Iowa. They're really shooting the ball well.
Okay. Dallas really loves him some Keegan Murray. So
I do.
That's what we're rolling with there. And then the last game of the slate, last game that was decided today on Saturday, Memphis and Houston in the American Championship. I will say I have stunk it up betting the last 2 days. If you follow us on any of our social media, I have been awful. But the one team who has pulled through for me on both days, as much as I hate to say it, the Memphis Tigers, coached by Penny Hardaway, one of the best X's and O's minds in the country. Memphis +4.5. They've already dominated this Houston team twice. Why can't they do it a third time?
Yep. The same page. I mean, it had to come together eventually. I mean, this much talent on this team. I'm surprised it took this long, especially with, Hall of Fame coach Penny Hardaway in their corner, but it's finally coming along. And for the better part of today, Houston struggled with Tulane. They ended up winning by 20, but they struggled, and Tulane was missing their best player, Jalen Cook. I'm with you on Memphis. I like it.
Okay. Before we finish talking about that one, I think it directly correlates. We talk about how much talent Memphis has with them not playing Amani Bates. He is a black hole. He gets the ball and nobody else gets it. He'll isolate. I've said the same thing, but I just want to point this out because I've said this in multiple videos. I think Andre Carbello is such a negative effect on Illinois. This stat came out yesterday. Illinois is 3-6 when Carbello plays 20 plus minutes, 6-2 when he plays less than 20 minutes, and 13-1 when he does not play at all. How is that possible for a guard that was supposed to be so great at the beginning of the year? It's him and Amani Bates, who I think are two of the worst efficiency-wise for their teams, and just they do nothing good for their teams.
But hey, they have those flashy plays a game that everyone likes them. I mean, it's all the hype. It's nothing that's produced in the games.
Yep. I know yesterday against Indiana, he had the little flashy wraparound pass to somebody.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe to Kofi or somebody, and everybody was talking about that. It's like they lost to Indiana, who's a bubble team. So there it is. There's our 5 picks. I don't know if you want to go over your favorites for this one. We don't really have a lot. If I had to choose my favorites, definitely going Memphis plus 4.5. And then you want to know what? I'm going to throw Yale in there.
Okay.
I like the academic stats. Going to go Yale plus 3.
I'm gonna roll with the SEC. Got to cheer for Texas A&M since they took Auburn out of the tournament. It's the only sportsmanlike thing to do in my book. And I mean, cheering against Tennessee isn't that hard. And then my second favorite is going to be my wagon throughout this tournament. They haven't let me down yet. Davidson.
Okay. Since this is sort of a shorter video, I want to hear your opinion on this.
Okay.
You got to choose a team right now. Who is cutting down the nets
Oof.
in the NCAA tournament?
The fan in me wants to say Auburn, but it's really hard because I don't think it's going to be Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga is going to choke like they always do. I really do not think it will be Gonzaga. Let me hear you. Do you know someone in mind? Let me think for a second.
You want to hear my opinion?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think there's a couple stats that look. I mean, whenever you hear me say this team has covered this much against the spread, I know you know that I like all the history stats. Like this conference hasn't won since then. So what I like is any of football. I can't remember what it is for basketball. Any of the football Power 5 conferences. Once you go over to basketball, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, they have not had a national champion that has won their conference tournaments in like 20 years. So I think that eliminates a handful of teams already. That would eliminate Duke for me. It's going to eliminate a lot of these smaller teams because there was a lot of upsets in these conference tournaments. So It's going to eliminate either Tennessee or Texas A&M. It's going to eliminate Duke. It's going to eliminate Kansas. It's going to eliminate the winner of Iowa and Purdue tomorrow. And then it's going to eliminate the winner of Arizona and UCLA. On top of that, this one's going to be a bad stat for your team. Teams who have not made at least the semifinal of their conference tournament have never won a national championship.
Yeah, I heard Jimmy Dykes throw that one out there.
Which would eliminate Auburn as well as Baylor, which I think were two teams I really liked. Personally, that plays into my team for Kentucky winning it, but it also leaves a couple other teams up in the air. It leaves Kentucky. It leaves some of the Big East teams because the Big East teams that have went on to win the national championship. Something in me says Kentucky. Mostly it's my heart, but I still really like their chances. The guard plays really, really good. Big man is obviously insane.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's limiting and lacking with Kentucky right now is just the explosive play out of the guards the last few games with Grady, Mintz, Ty Washington knocking down shots that they normally have, and then Brooks sort of going cold, and he showed what he normally does today. So I liked that. Just need some good guard play. If I had to go with another team that I think could cut down the nets, shoot, maybe Villanova. That one's a sleeper team for me. They're really, really, really smart. Whenever I watch them, they have IQ that just jumps off the page, watching all of their guards, just how they facilitate, how they maneuver around the court, how they play defense, how great they are at free throw shooting. That's a team that's a sleeper team for me that I think could cause some damage in March.
Yeah, I love when teams are super efficient on offense and play really hard on defense. Gillespie is so consistent; it makes my brain hurt how consistent he is. Honestly, if I had to make a pick other than an SEC team, because I'm not going to say either of our teams, and that's the only SEC teams I think that could do it. I don't think Arkansas really can do it. I would probably either say Arizona or I kind of want to say Providence. I mean, number one luckiest team in the regular season. I know they just blew that money line for you, but I don't know. Like, lucky is lucky.
They're lucky, but it's not. It's going to run out. I mean, I know you need that in March to advance. You need some luck on your side, but they obviously lack skill. You're not going to lose to by 30 points. No, there's no way Providence wins it.
I think that would just be like a fun bet to throw $1 on just to see.
I will say, I just checked the score. Duke is currently losing to Virginia Tech. I'm going to throw them in there.
Yeah,
if they
Coach
don't win
last year. Yeah,
if they don't win the ACC tournament, that fully falls into my stat about teams who don't win their conference tournament. Coach K's last year. The refs are going to be fighting to make that team advance. The thing that hurts that I think they're lacking in is point guard play. They do have Trevor Keels, but he's not really a true point guard. I don't like the fact they don't really have a good facilitator, somebody who's going to dish the ball, make those shots with the ball in their hand. Yeah, that's what I don't like about Duke, but I'll throw them in there. All right, well, there's our video. There is our picks for Championship Sunday, Selection Sunday. There it is. We are one step closer to the NCAA tournament. I hope everybody gambles responsibly. Throw the stats out the window. Everyone is in desperation mode. They just want to win right now. All right.
Hey,
remember to follow us on social media at Two Broke Betters. I hope everybody has a great rest of the weekend and a great week. Dallas, what would you like to tell our viewers?
We're almost at that round of 64, baby. It's getting to crunch time.
Yep. Round of 64. That means, unlike what I said, Duke is one step closer to getting knocked out.
Back outside. This is the point where he always hits it. Oh!